Recently, the Alaska Airlines credit card joined my wallet and became the first Bank of America card that I own. In fact, I took it out of the envelope, but I didn't take the sticker off yet, so let me try to do that really quick. There we go. And now, that Alaska Airlines credit card, you can see it right there. So this is the first Bank of America card that I have, and so I wanted to make a video about my first impressions of Bank of America, and I want to go through some of the application rules right now to get us started off to see if you might want a Bank of America card. So to make sure that we're all on the same page, these aren't specific rules that Bank of America will publish on their website, at least not all of them are. It's just a bunch of different data points that people have collected over the years and have come to the conclusion about a few of these being very common. So starting out, we have the 2-3-4 rule. The first part of this rule, the 2, it symbolizes that Bank of America will approve you for no more than 2 credit cards in a rolling 2-month period. So let's say you get approved for the Alaska Airlines card this month, and then you get approved for the Bank of America customized cash rewards card next month. Well, you can't just go out and right away apply for another card expecting to be approved. The next part of this rule is the 3, and that references that Bank of America will not approve you for more than 3 cards in a rolling 12-month period. And then the last part of the rule, the 4, Bank of America will not approve you for more than 4 cards in a rolling 24-month period. So Bank of America is going to limit your velocity specifically with their cards, and that's all this rule is talking about. This rule did not apply to me directly because this is my first Bank of America card ever, so I did not have to worry about this at all when I was applying for the Alaska Airlines card. Next up, we have the 3-12 rule, and this is something that I was considering when applying for this Alaska card. So the 3-12 references that Bank of America will not generally approve you for cards if you have had 3 personal card approvals in the last 12 months. And this is coming from all issuers. This is pretty similar to Chase's 5-24 rule, where they say if you've been approved for 5 or more personal credit cards in the last 24 months, then Chase will, in most cases, auto-deny you for a credit card application. There is a good way to go about this if you do not fall within this certain criteria. There's a lot of people that say online that if you have a Bank of America relationship, like if you have a checking account with them, well then this increases from the 3-12 rule to the 7-12 rule. So that means 7 personal card approvals in the last 12 months. So if you have 6 approvals in the last year, then you are perfectly fine and you could get approved for a Bank of America card. This one that I'm holding in my hand is actually my wife's card, and so I had to look at her personal credit card approvals in the last 12 months, and it turns out she only had 2, and so she fit right under that rule, so we went ahead with this application. But if she wanted another card pretty soon from Bank of America, well then I would probably have her apply for one of their free checking accounts. For our next one, we have the 24-month rule, which refers to the welcome bonuses that you can earn on the Bank of America cards. So this is going to vary for each card, and maybe if it's personal versus a business card, but because I have the Alaska Airlines card in front of me, that's the one that we're going to look at. So if you go to the Bank of America website and find the Alaska Airlines card, I'll click Review Rates and Fees. It'll bring me to a different section of the website, and I'll click View Complete List of Rates and Fees. And then you can see here that it just comes up with a table with a bunch of information. I'll specifically search for 24, and it'll come up with a bunch of different 24s. But then right down here in very, very small print, it'll say this card may not be available to you if you currently have or have had the card in the preceding 24-month period. So if you have held this card at all within the last 2 years, you would be ineligible to get approved for this card and the welcome bonus associated with it. And so what you would want to do if you want to get multiple bonuses on the Alaska Airlines card. You can apply for the card, use it for however long you want, at least 1 year before canceling it, and then wait an additional 2 years after canceling it or product changing it, I would assume, and then you could be eligible for the card and the welcome bonus again. So I know that application rules aren't necessarily that exciting to a lot of people, but it was really useful for me to kind of dig into this and find out what you could get approved for at any specific time. And so I really needed that information, and hopefully you're glad that you have that now. Next, I want to take a look at my credit report to see what has changed since applying for this card. Well, specifically, which credit bureau did Bank of America pull from? For me, it was Experian in Arizona, but I know that it might be different depending on which state you're in. So for our situation, I totaled up all of my wife's hard inquiries on the Experian credit report for personal and business credit card applications, and she had 1 hard inquiry in the last 6 months, 4 in the last 12 months, and 6 in the last 24 months. And looking outside of Experian a little bit, the personal card approvals that she had in the last 6 months was 2 cards, and then also 2 cards in the last 12 months, and 4 cards in the last 24 months. And then as far as credit score goes on Experian, we looked at it before she applied for this card, and it was at a 760. And then after she got approved, and right now it's sitting at a 740. So it dropped by 20 points since she applied for the card. But I don't think that all has to do with just getting approved for this card. I think it has a lot of different factors into it. Like, we've already spent a lot of money on this Alaska card in order to work towards that welcome bonus. And so there's a lot of factors at play, so I don't think that's a really great measure in what one card approval can do to your credit score. And while we're talking about welcome bonuses, I might as well mention that the one that we got was 80,000 Alaska miles and Alaska's famous companion fare when we spent $4,000 in the first 90 days. Typically, this welcome bonus is going to be from like 50,000 miles to 70,000 miles. Right now, there is a limited time offer of earning 70,000 bonus miles plus Alaska's famous companion fare when you spend $3,000 in the first 90 days from account opening. And so this 70,000 is a pretty good bonus, and I actually do have a referral link in the description if you want to get this card. I just thought I'd mention that in case anybody was interested, and using those links really do help support my work and make these videos better, so I really thank you for that. It earns 3 times Alaska miles on Alaska flights, and then 2 times miles in various categories for the credits and benefits. It's nice to get a free checked bag, preferred boarding, and then if you're able to spend $6,000, you can also get Alaska's famous companion fare for the next year. So overall, I was pretty excited to get approved for this card, and I do have a lot of good uses for these Alaska miles, and I really had no idea if we were going to get approved or if Bank of America would like our credit report, because this is the first one we've ever applied for. And now going into the Bank of America website, I've noticed a couple things that I don't really like that much. First off, the website feels a little clunky, a little outdated, at least compared to some of the other credit cards that I've been approved for in the past. Like, I'm thinking about Chase, American Express, and Capital One. I think all of their online portals are going to be better than Bank of America. And now that I think about it, I've also have some Barclays cards, and I think that's probably better than Bank of America's website as well. But it's not a huge deal as long as you can navigate it. Some of the design is okay, like you can clearly see that this is an Alaska card, and just scrolling down a little bit, you can see that I've already earned this new account bonus. I've already put $4,000 worth of spend on this card because I had a big purchase coming up right before we got approved, so it's fantastic. And the 80,000 bonus miles were already deposited into the Alaska account. I didn't have to wait like 2 or 3 billing cycles for it to get deposited. It was just right there. And it looks like there are some decent cashback deals. It says welcome to Bank Ameri deals, and then there's a bunch of different stores where you can get a certain amount of cash back here and there. It says This one I'm just looking at for the very first time. It says grocery up to 30% cash back, but I don't know what snip is. So I don't know. This will be interesting to look through and see what kind of deals are out there. And a lot of different banks have this option, and I don't really use it that often, but I'll take a look. Overall, even though I don't really love the website that much, I still think Bank of America overall is pretty decent, at least from the first impressions standpoint. It does look like it's relatively easy to get approved for Bank of America cards, at least where it stands right now. But there aren't going to be too many cards that I'm really excited about. There are a couple cards with decent welcome bonuses, like their Premier Rewards cards, but I think those are more geared towards people that love cash back. And if you're somebody that follows this channel, you may see that I really like to travel so many places around the world, and so I'm more focused on travel points. That's why I got the Alaska Airlines credit card. I know that there's also a business Alaska Airlines card that I'm interested in, but outside of that, I don't know how much I'm going to be applying for Bank of America cards. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to check out me going more in depth on the Alaska Airlines card, you can watch me apply for it right there. And once again, I do have the link for this card in the description of this video. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.